In this video, I'm going to show you how I took the junky space underneath my workbench and turned it into this beautiful Systainer storage.
All right, so here's what I'm working with. We've got one of the Systainers here with a couple of rails out. We have 4 pairs in total, and this is where they're going to be going. So I had originally built this to put my feet when working at the workbench, doing writing, that sort of thing, and I just don't use it that way. So in here, the awesome thing is that this is wide enough that if I can put one set of Systainers on the left, one set on the right, and I'll put a divider in the middle. And I basically just have to double up a couple sheets of plywood to get it almost perfect. So I might have to just do a little bit of spacing in it, maybe with a 1/8 sheet of plywood, but generally pretty good. So what I'm also gonna do under here, so we have this annoying step in here to a door to nowhere, but I'm just gonna put a board all the way across. I'm also gonna seal up the back and just move the power bar up. As far as what I'm doing with the things in here, so it's just a lot of random stuff. So some of it's going to be going into a couple Systainers. Also, a couple of these drawers have items that are going to be going into the Systainers as well. So that's going to free up some space. So I'll probably have one or two of those junk drawers that we all seem to have. So anyways, that's what I'm working with. So I'm going to get to the build now. So just to show you the math behind this. So the medium Systainers require 16 and 29/64 of an inch. So very, very specific, but then also 418 millimeters, so I guess that's why. So the space that I have is 34 and 7/32, and really evenly spaced from front to back, bottom, top. So really, really happy with that. I guess that comes from how I built it. So basically we're doing 2 Systainers wide, which is then 32 and 29/32. So subtract that from the depth. Then I have 1 5/8 that I need to basically put that divider in the middle. So yeah, so it'll be divider that is 1 5/8 inches thick. So that's all that I have to do. So again, just gonna continue with the build.
Okay, so we've got our divider in, we've got the bottom in, we've got our backer on, and I think we're pretty much ready to go for the slide. So I did make sure that I followed Festool's instructions to try to get this to that 418 millimeters. It's about 1.5 millimeters wider. But given the way that these slides work, being just slightly wider is totally okay. So pretty close to 16.5 inches wide. And I did just grab my stack of Systainers that I recently bought from the starter pack. And funny enough, when I get the slides in and space them a little bit, this is probably going to fit absolutely perfectly into one side. So these are all the Systainers that I have right now, other than the toolbox, which won't go on one of the slides because it kind of follows me around. And then I have all the room over here for future Systainers, as well as kind of some thinking in some other areas. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start at the bottom, and I'm gonna get a couple of slides in for this one, and then we'll take a look at how the first one works, then I will do the rest. Okay, so my plan with these slides is that I'm just gonna put them right on the bottom, and I'm going to inset them about 1/8 of an inch, mostly because I still have to put some edge banding on this, and there's no problem insetting them a little bit. I do have a bit of spare room at the back, yeah, so I'm just going to basically put in a couple of screws. They do take 4 screws each. Whether you need 4, I don't know, but I have some of these 3/4 inch Robertsons that are going to be going in, so basically just making sure that that's 1/8 of an inch back. And I'm going to do 2 on the other side. Okay, so moment of truth. Let's slide it in and see if it fits. Perfect. So it does have a little bit of play from side to side, which is to be expected with the dimensions that were recommended for it. But fits perfectly, locks in place. And checking below, so if you do mount the bottom slides right to the bottom of your cabinet, just know that the feet of the bottom Systainer almost rests exactly on there. So it's probably a 1/64 of an inch or so raise, but if you had a really heavy Systainer, it may be pushing down to rest on that, which may not be the worst thing as far as supports, but just know that. So what I'm gonna be doing for the subsequent ones is just taking this 1/4 inch piece of MDF, and I'm going to be using this as the spacer to put the next slide on. So I'm going to be fast forwarding through this, but I'm going to put in the next few, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, the second one on, and I would say that the 1/4" spacer is probably absolutely perfect for this. So let's do the next one. Okay, final Systainer. There we go. Not too bad. So I still have to pop another 2 screws into each rail just to give it a bit more support, but I'm really happy with the spacing on this. Again, just kind of like, probably about 1/4 inch left on top. So I think the planning went well into this. So I've got just for kind of notice purposes, so these are all SYS3 Systainers, the medium ones. So I've got 237, a 187, a 137, and then an 89 Sys organizer. So it fits really well. And again, over here, I'm going to leave it open for now, whether I buy another one of these starter packs and kind of duplicate this exact situation over here. Still trying to figure out exactly what tools I want to put in each of these. I think in the 137, I'm going to be putting my jigsaw and oscillating tool, and their related accessories can all fit into one. I'm also going to be working on figuring out where I can put my palm router, either in this one with a couple of accessories or in this one with all the accessories. And I also want to do something with my Craig pocket hole jig, but I think I need a slightly bigger Systainer for that, which I might use on the other side. But anyways, I'm thrilled with this, very happy with the installation process, definitely overthought it before getting started. So if you have these rails or the starter set, which I definitely recommend checking out, just get started, just do it. And I think that it's something that, again, I overthought, and then an hour later, and I had the frame all in, and then it didn't take too long to get these rails in. So definitely something that can help spruce up your organization, whether you have Systainers already or you're planning on buying that starter set. Yeah, looks great, and pretty happy with how they work. And the larger ones, it's a bit of a handle instead of the kind of the float handle. It's got this like, bit of a faux handle, and these organizers are great. So who knows what I'll get next, but I definitely have room for it. And for now, it's gonna be a good spot for some storage. Thanks for watching. See you in another video soon.